Norah had long since gotten used to people staring at her. So, when the little boy with his mother said, "Look, Mommy, a witch," Norah just nodded and smiled. Then she heard his mother say to him, "Dear, there are no such things as witches. She's just going to a party or doesn't have a home or something like that. Leave her alone or she might ask for money." Ask for money, indeed, Norah thought. Maybe she would like to be asked if she would like to have her hair fall out. Luckily for the occasionally ill-tempered witch, the bus had arrived at the grocery store, and this was where Norah had to get off. Norah loved the store. She rarely went shopping and always found it a thrill. To see all the wonderful stuff. Food everywhere she looked. Tons of great things to eat. Norah loved to eat. And it showed. She found herself checking prices and planning what she would buy with the change from the broom. Then, out of nowhere, she spotted something. She almost couldn't believe it. Caramel apples! There was nothing that Norah loved more. Delicious, sweet, gooey caramel over a wonderful red, ripe apple. Everything good for you and everything bad for you in one package. Truly having your cake and eating it too. Now that's living. And only $1.79. What? Norah thought. For one silly caramel apple? Hope this broom doesn't cost a whole lot. With that in mind, she set off for the housewares section. She had a grand fortune of only $9.77, and she had a feeling she may need it all. Housewares was a very exciting place for Norah, filled with pots and pans, cooking tools, and candles. It was hard for her to keep focused, but focused she stayed, and soon she was at mops and brooms. A mop? Now that would be novel. She thought about that for a moment or two, and then thought the better of it. Best to stay with tradition. Besides, if she remembered correctly, Ginda Threefoot once tried a mop, and the flapping made everyone crazy. Plus, all the old ones started whispering about her. So, it was back to the brooms. Oh, and they were fine ones, too. Big, strong fellows. Modern, not traditional, but anyone could do very well. And they were all $22.95. Norah quickly started looking through all the brooms, but alas, they were all the same. Gooses, she said to herself, her spirit sinking. I was so looking forward to that caramel apple. Then she got an idea. You must understand that desperate times sometimes lead to desperate measures, and with less than 2 days before she had to be in Salem, Norah was getting just a tad desperate. Maybe, just maybe, she could sprinkle them with ash dust and ask one of the brooms to fly out on its own? Norah had every intention of paying for it. She would leave what she had now, and after the gathering she would return with the rest. Who knows? Maybe business would pick up. First she had to convince the broom, which wasn't going to be easy. Brooms are known for their integrity. Now, she really hadn't had a chance to look them over, so she thought it best to get to know them a little better before she asked. Carefully, very carefully, she sprinkled a touch of ash dust over them, came in real close, and listened. Slowly, very slowly, the soft voices came to her ear. At first she thought it was her imagination. It had been a long time since she had talked to a strange broom. It might take a moment to connect. No? She could hear them clearly, but she couldn't understand a word they were saying. Then it hit her. Stunned, she pulled a broom out to see where it was made. Mexico. The brooms were speaking Spanish. This is awful, she said. I don't have time to learn Spanish." At that moment, she realized that she had been talking to the brooms out loud, and a group of people were looking at her. A bit embarrassed, she looked at them and said, "Oh, it's nothing personal. It's just that I don't have the tapes, and besides, my cassette player is broken." With that, Nora left the grocery store and soon found herself on the bus to the hardware store.